Okay. So mostly this would be like a revision session, but in a more drill down version. Okay, let us see that. So you guys, you remember we started with the MP neuron, where exactly assume that I want to watch a movie or not. Want to watch a movie or not? Sir, why you are starting from the beginning? See, you are not having any confusion about what is happening in the context of deep neural networks. But why you're getting confusion when you're doing convolution operation? That means somehow your correlation between deep neural networks and the CNN is having problem. So to break that problem, I am trying to start from the beginning. So I'll not take much time because you're already familiar, you have written the exams. So I'll be very, very fast. So assume that it's raining or not raining. Based on the rain, I decide whether I have to watch the movie or not. Whether my father agree me to go for watching a movie or not. I don't have a class. That means based on class. That means in simple sense, what should I say? It's based on the weather, based on father decision, based on the class. If at least two of them are getting satisfied, then I'll watch a movie, otherwise I don't watch. So this is a neuron, single neuron, and this is an MP neuron. But all of these three may not be equally contributing to my decision. There is importance based on the aspect that I consider. Maybe my father decision is the most important thing. I give more priority. Rain or not, I'll watch a movie. Class, maybe I give maybe medium priority. So based on that, I'll watch a movie. So this is perceptron. Okay, fine. This also understood. There is no confusion for you, I hope. Now, while I'm doing this revision session, please ensure that you don't have any confusion. Okay, if you have any confusion, please let me know immediately. Now, we further extended our sessions like this. Maybe I'm not doing this inputs, whatever. I just gave inputs here, but I'm not trying to repeat that inputs. It can be this sort of inputs or some other inputs based on which you're going to predict the output. So I1, I2, I3, and so I have some hidden layers. Okay, fine. Let's leave it. Okay. So you have some input neurons, and this is hidden layer 1, and we also take multiple hidden layers. And finally, let us try to have some output, maybe yes or no. That means loan will be paid by customer or not. If I give a loan, will he pay me back or not as a bank employee? So again, you'll have these connections, again, dense connections. You realize this dense connections, guys? You remember? Okay, so again, dense connections. I'm not doing that connections. If you want, I'll do it. It's matter of, yeah, these are the dense connections. Now, we should realize what is happening in this hidden layers. What exactly is happening here? Basically, we are trying to classify between two classes, yes class and no class. And we use neural networks because we definitely know that most of the data sets in real time are non-linear. That means I cannot separate the S class points and no class points by straight line. So I have to use maybe S class points maybe here, no class maybe points here. So I need to use some non-linear curve to separate the positive class points and negative class points, or S class and no class. To get this sort of non-linear curve, you guys remember universal approximation theorem? So it means to estimate that nonlinearity curve, I have to go for universal approximation theorem. Universal approximation theorem is practically implemented by practically implemented by what? Activation functions. Because this non-linearity is brought by the activation functions. You remember that tower construction? Tower construction. So based on this, non-linearity will be built. So that means since the data between S points and no points is non-linear, I want to bring that non-linearity capabilities to my network, which is possible with activation function. Activation functions construct towers. That tower construction is done by hidden layer 1 and hidden layer 2. Okay, now this one I already told multiple times, but only for this, for the story creation to reach CNN, I have to tell this. Okay, so now what is the problem in above case? Slowly we are going to CNN. What is the problem in above case? Here hidden layer 1 is there, hidden layer 2 is there. Assume that I have hidden layer 3, 4, 5, maybe 20 hidden layers, 30 hidden layers, 40 hidden layers. What is the problem? I'll have more weights. I'll have more weights. What happens if I have more weights? You know that overfitting can come. I may end up at overfitting. Now what should I do? I have to reduce weights. So now instead of reducing weights, what I do is I share weights. How do I share weights? I share weights based on convolution approach. Convolution operation. Now what is happening in convolution? What is happening in convolution? Please remember this sequence. I'm trying to create a story. What is happening in convolution? There's a pure sequence in the revision session, so please try to listen carefully. So what is happening in convolution? We are trying to multiply filter with the image. Now, what is image? Image is collection of a pattern. Yes or no? Do you agree or not? For example, take the 5 digit. It's a collection of a vertical line, a horizontal line, and a curve, maybe another curve. Do you agree? Not only this, Nana, you take any image. It's a collection of some pattern. Some pattern. You take the human face. It's a collection of this pattern, this pattern, this pattern. So we don't realize that explicitly, but it's a collection of patterns. You can always remember this. 5 is recognized like this. Okay. So this is a pattern, this is a pattern, this is a pattern, this is a pattern. Okay. So image is a collection of pattern. You can take any image now. You can take the pattern of a building. You can take the pattern of mobile phone. You can take the pattern of a water bottle. It is having small patterns. Okay, you just take this always 5 digit as 5 or any digit for that matter. You can always remember this in mind that image is a collection of patterns. You can do that pattern splitting for any image. You can tell me the image, I'll tell the pattern. That's pattern is nothing but it is formed with some curves or some horizontal lines and vertical lines. Can you draw any image without these patterns, horizontal lines, vertical lines, or some curves? You can draw any image with that. I'm calling those as patterns. Horizontal, vertical, diagonal. That means using straight lines, using non-straight lines. You can draw any image. Okay, so that I call as a pattern. Now, what is filter? Because we are multiplying filter with image, we should know what is this. So what is filter? Filter is a small image. This image may be big in size, but filter is very small when compared with the actual image. So this is a small image with a small pattern. The small image with a small pattern. So this is collection of many patterns, but the filter is just a small image with only one pattern. Is it fine, guys? See, if you search in internet, you will not get this complete story. So please listen carefully. Small image with a small pattern. Okay. So after understanding what is filter and what is image, that means let me tell you visually. I don't need to tell you what exact an image, elephant image or cat image or dog image, any image. But for example, what is filter? I already told it's some small image with some pixel values. Okay. If you print this, don't look at only the as a pixel values, but if you print as an image, it's something where like this will be there, some pattern. That means this filter captures diagonal lines in the actual image, because I already told. Okay, maybe I'll tell you in the other way. For example, this is a pattern like this, just only one line. When I print this as an image, I got a horizontal line. That means in my 5, this part of the 5 is recognized by this filter. Is recognized by this filter. That means I'll have one more filter. I'll have one more filter, 150, 155, 160, 200, which captures when I show it as an image. Maybe I got this one. Maybe this part of 5 is recognized by this filter. You're understanding what is filter? Filter is basically a collection of pattern. This is one pattern. This is another pattern. Okay. I hope I have given clarity on what exactly is happening with the filters. Oh, perfect. Now, let us try to delve into in a much more detailed way. Once I have given the clarity on the filter. Okay. Now, guys, during your childhood, let me give the analogy so that you'll understand. During your childhood, your teacher definitely asked you to draw a picture. Now, at least to me, whenever I want to draw a picture, a complicated picture from the original image, from it's not hand drawn image, it was a printed image, some drawing. Since it's a printed image, it is very difficult for me to analyze from where to start. Do you think that you can start by just looking? We are not artists, right? At least me, I'm not the artist. It used to be very difficult for me. How do I recreate this on my paper? How do I recreate that on a paper? Then what I used to do is, I used to break the image into multiple parts. Okay, let me draw this first. Let me redraw this first. And then when it's coming to the middle part or the main part, I used to understand first the shape, what's the sun shape of that part. Then I go into little details. Okay, then further I again go to finer details. That means we create a system called breaking down the pattern. This printed image will have n number of patterns. If I look at the image as a whole, I cannot draw that. Firstly, I will see what is this pattern, what is this pattern, what is this pattern, what is this pattern. Slowly I'll break down the entire image into patterns and then redraw the patterns. Okay, so you have small patterns in the entire image. Now, once you identify these patterns, you redraw it. Perfect. Now, how do I relate this particular analogy to our neural network hidden layers? Do you remember, guys? First hidden layer captures these small patterns. That means, take the case of 5. If I want to recognize this, maybe the first hidden layer neurons, this neuron will capture this, the second neuron will capture maybe this, third neuron will capture something like this. Okay, this is a pattern, this is a pattern, this is a pattern. Okay, so let us take some other image, because I'm telling this 5 multiple times. Let us take some other images. For example, I have a data set where I have person images, some like some any person, set of persons image, multiple persons, dog images, and then some tortoise image, anything, it can be any animal, some tortoise images. Now when I supply these images as input to my CNN, to my CNN or to my DNN, okay, so this is my hidden layer 1, hidden layer 1. Now people have done experiments on this. In this hidden layer 1, what exactly is happening? This particular neuron gets fired, assume that gets fired for all person images. Whenever you give any person images, this gets fired. Maybe this gets fired for maybe dog images. Maybe this will not at all fired, not at all fired. And this may be fired for tortoise. Now in your mind you should get a question, sir, what is this fired? What is this fired word? Why are you using this fired word, and what does it indicate? So in this case, you have to, by now, based on this concept, you should have two questions in your mind. Let us try to break that question. The question one is, what do I mean by firing? Let us see that. I am talking all these things in the context of CNN, because DNN you already know that non-linearity classification using UAT, activation functions, constructing the traverse, all that things. I started talking about CNN. Okay. Now this CNN fires certain neuron in the hidden layer. So now let us see what is that fire. So I remember some dialogue from a Telugu movie, like told by a comedian. I am fire. I am the fire. I am the fire. Like some dialogue will be there. I got that dialogue into mind. Okay, fine. Let's come back to this. So, what exactly happens in the neural network context is, if after convolution we apply activation function. See, generally what happens, Nana? Let me just write this as a part of, maybe let me take this particular image. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let me just say this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This numbering is not required, but only for the sake of clarity. Okay, let us take some pixels. 100 pixel, 101, 113, 120, some random pixels. No, it can be anything. 150. 155, because image is a combination of pixels and they range from 0 to 255. I'm just taking some image, 4x4 image, trying to do that. 200, 201, 220, some random, 230, some other random value, 240 maybe, 215 maybe. Okay. Now let us take the filter pattern, maybe some 150, 89, 60, 70. Okay. Now I apply the convolution operation. Once you apply convolution operation, what happens here? These 4 will be multiplied with these 4. That means how many pixels you have? input in the input 16. So totally how many inputs will give? 16 inputs. What is the first input for your neuron? First input is 100. Oh, sorry. First input is 100. This is your first input. Second input is 101. Third input is 113. Fourth input is 120. Fifth input is 150. Sixth input is 155. Seventh input is, I'll not write completely, but I'm just writing at least 8. Seventh and 8, 180. And like this, you'll have 16 search inputs. Now, once I apply the first convolution operation, what happens? 100 into 150, you multiply these 4 with these 4, right? So 100 into 150. So 100, I multiply with 150. Then 101 is multiplied with 89. Then 150. 150 is from which pixel? Fifth pixel. 150 is multiplied with 60. 155 is multiplied with 70. 150 is multiplied with 70. Once you multiply, you'll get some aggregated value, right? Some aggregated value. Multiply that and add all of them. 150 into 100 plus 89 into 101 plus 60 into 150 plus 70 into 155. Some aggregation you'll get. Then what do? You apply activation. You apply some activation. If this particular, maybe don't always think that you apply always sigmoid. Let us take the case of ReLU. So ReLU function, it's max of 0 comma x. Assume that this some value is maybe 200. So that means the output of this is 200. Okay. Now let us see why we're discussing all these things, because I want to define what is firing. So you can say a neuron is fired. A neuron is fired if the output of that is greater than some threshold. The threshold, assume that it is 150. Now what is our output value? 200. 200 greater than 150. So now can I say this neuron fired? Can I say this neuron fired? Yes. So if a particular output of neuron is greater than some threshold, I can say that neuron is fired. I can say that neuron is fired. Now, when I have to, how do I fix this threshold is again a matter of interest. Now, when can I say, okay, this is the logic, fine, that output of a neuron is greater than some threshold, I have to conclude that it's fired. Sir, what is the logic or what is the intuition behind a neuron fired or not? So what is the use for me? If neuron fires, some neuron will not fire. See, for example, here a neuron fired, but here in this particular third neuron in hidden layer 1 did not fire, but again fourth neuron fired. What is the logic or what is the intuition? Or what do I get? How do I get benefited if a neuron fires or not fired? I'll tell you. See, I already told that in our data set, persons are there, dogs are there, cats are there, some tortoise is there. Now, this is my input I supplied to my hidden layer. Okay, hidden layer I have number of neurons. You'll be surprised, guys. You'll be surprised if this neuron fires for a person image. For person image, you'll be surprised, guys. Only this neuron will fire for all persons. This will not get fired for dogs, for cats, or for tortoise. If this particular neuron fires when it is given for a dog image, then if your neural network was configured properly, this neuron only gets fired for all dogs. For all dogs, I cannot say 100%, but for majority of the dogs, only this neuron gets fired. Majority, if your network configuration is good, by right activation, right number of hidden layers, only that particular neuron will get fired for majority of dogs. If this is configured, if it is fired for cat, then for majority of cats, only this gets fired, and this will not get fired, this will not get fired, this will not get fired, and this will not get fired. Now you slowly you're understanding what is happening here. So now, what is the logic of keeping this many hidden layers? What is the logic of keeping these many hidden layers, or these many number of neurons in the hidden layers? I think we did not come up with second hidden layer. We are talking with only one hidden layer. Now, what is the point in keeping n number of neurons in hidden layer? Because each hidden layer will get fired for one kind of images, persons. Some other neuron in the hidden layer one will get fired for some other category of images. Third for some other neuron will get fired for some other category of images. Why? Sir, why only you are saying that person, for a particular person, only neuron one? Why only neuron one is getting fired? Why neuron 2 or neuron 3 or neuron 4, neuron 5 is not getting fired? Because this person, take this case of a person, face. Okay, so this person face is obviously distinct from a dog face. This person face is obviously distinct from dog face. Okay, that means when I apply a filter, when I apply a filter to this, then assume that this filter is captured, because every filter also captures a pattern, right? If this filter captures maybe a pattern like this, maybe almost the same, almost a circle. Assume that your pattern captures, sorry, filter captures a pattern like this. This sort of pattern will not be there for dogs or for cats or for tortoise. Okay, so that means these pixels, the pixels here and the pixels here are same, almost in the same range. So that means then when you multiply the same pixel values with the same pixel values, for example, if I have 100, 101, 102, 103, for example, these filter pixels are also maybe very, very close. 101, maybe 102, 105, maybe 106, very, very close to this. When you multiply these pixels with these pixels, what happens? It will cross the threshold that you define. So that means, what is this threshold that you have to keep? For example, if these are 100, 101, 102, 103, my filter values are also 100, 101, 102, 103, exactly matching. The pixel values of my input image and the filter are exactly matching, but always the exact match will not happen, right? So what I put is, I'll put a threshold. At least if there is an exact match, say assume that once I multiply 100 into 100 plus 101 into 101 plus 102 into 102 plus 103 into 103. So that maybe assume that it is some 2000. So that means if I have filter values which are greater than this, 200, 201, 202, 203, then definitely I can still cross 2000. If the exact matching is equal to 2000, if I cross, or if my pixel values are greater than that, still the condition holds. That means still the firing happens. Okay, so that means I'm trying to identify this pattern which is there in the filter. The pattern which is there in the filter, I'm trying to see this pattern exist in the image or not. If the same pattern or similar pattern exists, then this neuron fires. And obviously, this pattern may not be there. I'm telling again, may not be there in other classes. But sometimes, take the case of dogs and cats. Okay, then they have lot of similarities. Then only this neuron cannot discriminate the classes, then you need multiple neurons to take for help. You can't keep a single neuron firing is not sufficient. Maybe for distinguishing between dog and cat, but for distinguishing dog, maybe 1, 3, 5 collectively need to say that this is dog. 1, 3, 5 neurons. For cat, maybe still one first neuron will fire, third neuron also will fire, but 6, 7 will fire, but this 6 and 7 will not fire for the dog. Now you realize why I require multiple neurons in the hidden layer. Any questions till now? Any questions till now? Okay. So it's a kind of revision session, and to make it very clear to you, because I don't want to have any confusion for your understanding in the context of CNN. Now, okay, sir, this is all hidden layer 1. Now, what happens in the next hidden layer? Because hidden layer 1 is done in the convolution operation. What happens with the hidden layer 2? Hidden layer 2 aggregates your patterns understanding. That means, for example, if I'm trying to detect a person's face, here different shapes of the a person will be detected here. Now in the hidden layer 2, all this will be aggregated like this. In next hidden layer, this will be aggregated in a much more structured way. Maybe your eyes also will be detected, your nose also will be detected, all those things. So as number of hidden layers are increasing, see, this is like in a picture diagram that you draw. For example, earlier, maybe you are very like having this age 4 or 5, where you cannot draw this circle also. Then you find, okay, this is first you draw this, then the next you draw this, then you next you draw this, something. I'm putting in a very scattered way, but in single way you draw this, you draw this, you draw this, then you draw this, draw this, draw this. That means your understanding is slowly adding. When the number of hidden layers are increasing, your understanding increases. Okay, and finally you build up a shape like this. Now the question is, sir, why should I have next question that should come to your mind? See, you are not asking questions. I am only raising the questions and trying to tell the answer. The next question, if this is the case, why number of kernels? Because in convolution, we are using number of kernels, right? Why number of kernels? The thing is, because you have an image here, okay, maybe RGB channels or whatever. Now, if I apply some kernel 1, I'll get one 2D frame. This is kernel 1. After applying kernel 1, this is one 2D frame. Maybe I'll apply, I applied one more kernel, I got another 2D frame. Similarly, I applied another kernel, I got another 2D frame. Another kernel, I got another 2D frame. Now, why should I apply these many kernels? Do remember, guys, each kernel is a combination of filter, and each filter is combination of pixels. That means a kernel 1 is having filter 1, filter 2, filter 3. Okay, see, if you have R channel, this will be applied, filter 2 for G channel, for B channel. See, now your colored image will have 3 channels: R channel, G channel, and B channel. Collectively, you can see one colored image. You can remove, maybe in the experiments, generally we do it in computer vision, not in deep learning. But actually, if you print only one channel output, not R channel or B channel, can you see the image? Can you see the image? Yes, you can see, but you cannot see the original image. Some pattern, you can see some pattern, maybe outline of that picture. Okay, not exact picture you can see. Maybe in the labs, I'll show if possible, if our time permits. So that means each is a pattern, color of this is one pattern around the actual image. This is another pattern with another set of pixels, with another set of colors. and B is again majority will be blue around that actual image. Okay, now why should I apply multiple kernels? This is for kernel 1. Again, kernel 2 may have a number of filters, maybe 4 filters. Why should I apply? Okay, see, actually, if your input depth is 3, number of filters also will be 3. You cannot have more than that. Okay. Now, okay, but why should I have multiple kernels? Do remember, multiple filters together belong to set of channels, and they actually identify set of patterns, one set of patterns, one set of patterns. But this one set of patterns may not classify all the patterns, or may not have all the patterns being fired. This, using one kernel or using these 3 filters, I cannot identify all the possible patterns in the digits. See, assume that this kernel, assume that in the best case, assume that this kernel identifies or identified all the patterns in 5. That means, are you interested only in classifying 5? What about 6? What about 7? What about 8? What about 9? That means you have to capture like hundreds of patterns across hundreds of images. Fortunately, we have only nine types of classes here, but whatever the patterns that are not captured by kernel 1 are generally captured by kernel 2. Another set of patterns, like kernel 3, another set of patterns, kernel 4, another set of patterns. Now you realize why should I apply kernels? Okay, multiple kernels. But sir, you're telling that each kernel captures different set of patterns. For example, to capture 7, or maybe to capture 8, or maybe I'll take one more because both are circles. Maybe to capture, maybe take the same 5. Assume that this pattern and this pattern is detected by this filter and this filter, and this pattern is detected by in kernel to some other filter. That is also possible. And they aggregate in the next hidden layer to recognize 5. Now the next question. That means, sir, why I cannot have a kernel 1 to capture only 5, kernel 2 to capture 6, kernel 3 to capture 7, kernel 4 to capture 8? Can I do that exactly? No, because the filters on by which you initialize, the weights or the pixels that you initialize in the filters are completely random. Are completely random. Are completely random. Okay. So once you run your code, your kernel 1 may have filter 1 which captures maybe this pattern. When you run the same code for the next time, the same kernel filter 1 will be initialized with some other weights or some other pixels where it now captures some other pattern. So that means if you have as many kernels or as many filters, it uses normal distribution internally to initialize the pixels, so that when you have as many kernels, as many filters as possible, it tries to capture different patterns. And these patterns will be aggregating based on the similar pattern being seen in the input image, and the fired neurons will be aggregated in the next hidden layer, finally to form a shape. This is important. Now the final question. So that means you're saying that each kernel will capture different patterns, and you're not sure whether if I have only 3 kernels, will it capture all patterns in my data set? You're not sure. That's the reason you're increasing the kernels, maybe 10 kernels, 20 kernels, 30 kernels, 40 kernels, 50 kernels, 60 kernels. Then, sir, if I initialize my number of kernels to 10,000, then it can capture every pattern? No. What is the drawback? This is my last question, Anna. Question 4. What is the drawback? Can you tell Nana what is the drawback if number of kernels are very high? Can anybody tell me? Anybody? Then I'll be very happy if you tell me my revision class makes sense. What is the drawback if number of kernels are very, very high? Anybody? My God. You did not understand, guys? You did not understand? Lokesh Reddy, can you speak? Lokesh Reddy, Rahul, Shiva, can you hear me first?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then why people are not speaking? Abhishek, then I'll put asking for all
Yes,
of
sir.
you. Yeah. Did you understand till now what exactly is being discussed?
Yes, sir.
Or still you have a doubt?
No, sir, it was much clear, sir.
It is clear. Great.
Yes, sir.
It is that, and you are clear. Fine. Now, what is the drawback? Since each kernel captures different patterns, so when the pattern in the filter, only one thing you need to remember: the pattern in the filter and the pattern in the image. For example, the image is having some like pattern here, and similar pattern was there in the filter. Then the neuron, the corresponding neuron, will get fired, and all these fired neurons aggregate to form a shape and this object will be detected finally. This clarity will not be there in internet, Nana. So this is what I just want to create a story and then I told. But what happens since as kernels increase, the patterns detection is detection capability increases. If I increase my kernels to 1000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, then I can classify any object? No. I'll tell you the problem for that. See, for example, let us take the same thing. Take, I don't know why I'm always taking 5. So let us take the case of digit recognition, and one of the digit is 5. If I take a lot of kernels where almost all possible patterns are being detected, first problem is the patterns will repeat. The first filter captures this, even with 10,000 filter also captures the same pattern because all possible patterns are done. So I don't want duplicate patterns being discussed or being detected by different filters. This is one problem. Another major problem is if you're doing like this, I will know I'm indirectly telling the system that 5 means it should be exactly like this. Exactly like this. If you write some 5 like this, maybe assume that 5, but my 5 now is like this. Not exactly like this. Maybe my 5 is this. We tend to write as with a human, when we try to write, we tend to, this is also 5. If you ask your like an younger cousin or maybe kid, he will say this as 5. But if you increase the number of kernels, system will exactly fit your training data. It exactly fits your training data, exactly fits. That means it finally realizes by the end of the training, 5 means it should be exactly like this. But if there is a break here, system will classify it as some other digit. Not exactly 7, it may be some other digit. Or even though it classifies it as 5, but it will say that I'm only 60% is confident. But in this case, it will say I'm 99.9% is confident. Why it's only 60% is confident, even though it's like it should say that it's 98% is confident? Because there was a gap. So that means if you increase number of kernels, you increase number of hits. If you increase number of hits, there is overfitting. Overfitting in the sense I tend to overwrite the exact pattern, and if there's small deviation in this pattern, I would not be able to tell with high confidence. In sometimes I may classify this 5 as some other digit also. If number of breaks, for example, I have a 5 like this. I have a 5 like this. Okay, I have a 5 like this. If you give a 5 like this, it will say some other digit. System. Why? Because system was not trained with a generic pattern. Instead, it is exactly being overfitted. So that is the reason you should not have more kernels because it increases number of hits. It leads to overfitting. Now, is it clear, Nana, what exactly we're trying to do with the convolution operation, why we are going for n number of filters, n number of kernels, what is happening exactly. Is it clear, guys? At least one guy tell me yes, I'll be happy. At least one person. Arey Baba, why? I'm not begging, yaar. If you don't understand, tell
Yes,
me.
sir.
I'm